Hello and welcome back to Brawl Crawl. Today we have Grist Voracious Larva who flips into the Planeswalker Grist the Plague Swarm. Grist the Hunger Tide is one of my favorite Planeswalkers slash favorite creatures I would say ever. Going back to Modern Horizons 2, I think it was. And here in Modern Horizons 3, we have the new Grist, the Voracious Larva. So, Grist is going to be 1 green for a 1/2 with Death Touch, and whenever Grist or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from the graveyard or you cast it from the graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile it, then return it flipped. So, where the original Grist was partly a creature depending on the zone, partly a planeswalker, this new Grist Voracious Larva is going to change based on your actions. Spoiler alert, this Grist isn't as good as the old Grist by any means, but we do have some ways to try to flip this Grist over, and when you can hit an artifact or an enchantment, you do feel like you got a great value on that. But the big theme here is going to be self-mill, and we're going to be trying to do things like get Blood-Soaked Champion milled into our graveyard, and maybe try to use the raid ability to flip Grist. And then we have things like Not Dead After All, a really cheap way to bring something back. Because Grist is this little costing a green mana comes to haunt me in this video a couple times. You'll see. And so any way that we can use something like Reanimate that costs 1, being cheap is huge. Bloodghast, which comes back and doesn't cost any mana. That's exactly the kind of thing we want. Also, this new card, Emperor of Bones, this is a new black staple to me. I think this card is so good, and for me, it's going to be in every black deck for no other reason than it's getting you obscene value off of what costs 2, and also serves as your graveyard hate. So, in my opinion, put Emperor of Bones in all of your Brawl decks. Put it in EDH too. Play that card more. Journey to Eternity is one of my favorite all-time cards, and this is the perfect deck for it. Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Both these lovely Gitrog Frogs. And then we got the big boys back here that we're trying to reanimate. Goldvein Hydra just as kind of the green Goldspan Dragon. And then we have some lands and stuff. But yeah, Grist is awesome. He's not that strong, but he's one of my favorite characters in the lore. So yeah, I'll be back for game 1. Alright, Brawl Crawl, Grist, Voracious Larva going up here against Harrogast, Erupting Nullkite. And a hand with 0 creatures. I don't think I can keep that one. This one I will try, though. So, we're going to have to be pretty good about this Not Dead After All and probably try to just use it on Grist. But, we'll start with the Restless Cottage. Opponent with a great start here. We're going to pay 2 life and keep up the Not Dead After All. Key to the Archive. And that's going to feel great to hit with this Terra Sunder. If you haven't seen Key to the Archive, it's an alchemy only card. It's 4 mana. It is a mana rock that can add 2 mana of any colors. And you also get to just take a super broken card. So nothing to hit with Reanimate yet. And with this Forsaken Crossroads, we'll name black. And put a forest on the bottom. And just exile this Terra Sunder. Or use Terra Sunder to exile their key to the archive, I should say. Lightning Bolt. I'm actually going to decline. Go Hunger Tide Rises. And then we'll just... It sucks to use Reanimate on a 1-mana creature, but against a mono red deck, I think it should be fine.
Embrace death. Dominate.
Okay, I didn't realize Grist could trigger itself, so that wasn't great on my part, but we will play through it. And not hitting a land here, a little painful. But we are going to be able to at least keep up Bitter Triumph if they somehow play a huge dragon like that. And we'll just pay 3 life because we want to be able to tutor up a pretty strong creature. Oh. And opponent just couldn't grind out our removal, and we'll be back for game 2. Okay, so we're taking on Sithist Harvest Hand. I don't feel like Grist is powerful enough to be taking on something like Sithist, but we're going to give it a try. And I think turn 1 here, I just want to lead on the Halfling. So we'll reveal that Forest and play the Halfling. I'll say it of Life's Bounty for our opponent. We'll just get the Mosswood Dread Knight down and the Grist.
Next meal awaits.
And if they just play Sithis and can't pay for the I'll say it of Life's Bounty here, then we are just gonna kill Sithis and take our chance to do that with this Binding of the Old Gods. And opponent did not enjoy that one, but beating Sithis always feels great, so GG. Okay, so we're taking on Tatiova Benthic Druid here. And we do need to get this tap land down, but we have a lot of 2-drops, so I think going Forest into Swarm Saboteur or Desperate Bloodseeker is going to be what I want to do here.
Hunger beyond death.
Opponent probably wondering why they're getting matched up against the terrifying Grist Voracious Larva here with their Tatiova deck. And they'll see what dark secrets I have up in my sleeve. I'm going to grab a breeding pool here. Okay, so my options are to play the Bloodseeker, the Emperor, or try to hit with the Saboteur with their mana up. And I think I just want to get this Bloodseeker down and mill myself. So this is the turn I think I just want to get the Mortuary. And I want to keep Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, I think. And I'm going to get down this Emperor of Bones. This has been one of my favorite cards from MH3 so far. So the idea is you can exile a card at combat, and then when it adapts, you get to put it on the battlefield with haste. This turn, though, I do think I just want to see if I can get rid of their ramp, which they're going to negate. I'll take the land out and swing. So we'll see how many more counters they have. Titania. Because this Vile Offering doesn't have anything to bring back currently, which is unfortunate. But we'll get in there with the Emperor of Bones and with Grist. So we'll use the adaptability and see what they got for us, if anything. And we'll get down the Swarm Saboteur, which I should have probably ninja'd out, but I just kind of missed amidst wondering what they were going to do with Titania. And we'll see if this is the turn they want to get Tatiova down. Prime time. So prime time obviously is going to be one to hit with this Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Goldvein Hydra is going to be nice next turn, I think, to try to close the game out. I'm first going to take Titania and try to exile this Primeval Titan. And play land for turn. And swing out. We'll see what they got. They're going to need to probably bounce my board next turn with Cyclonic Rift. And we'll see if they have it. River's Rebuke. And we'll just put Grist back into hand. So we'll crack the Bloodstained Mire and just grab our Overgrown Tomb. So Primeval Titan would take all of our turn. We definitely want to play Restless Cottage. And they probably don't have another go wide spell for next turn. So I actually want to just play all these small creatures, I think. And then next turn, mill myself. And then next turn, swing with the Hydra as well. And we're just going to get rid of the River's Rebuke so they can't have some way to return it. Tatiova here. And Obscura Storefront, they're going to get to draw at least 2 here. And it feels like they're holding a counter spell up. So I think I just want to swing with the Cottage. And then we're just going to attack. They can eat the Bloodseeker if they want to, but that might kill them. And they'll go to -1. GG Tatiova. And I'll be honest, I didn't have huge expectations for this deck, but I think enough people in Brawl just aren't expecting to be attacked by small creatures that you can kind of just grab some wins like this, and that's our 3rd win in a row. I'll be back. All right, game 4 here. I would love to get a game in where I actually get to flip Grist and use the ability. And with a Bloodghast, we might actually have that game. Diabolic Intent is a good one. And we'll start on the Snarl here. Actually, against a mono black, I'm just going to get down this Blood-Soaked champion. Which looks like they're thinking of using removal on, but we know better than that. Trespasser's Curse for our opponent. We'll just play Overgrown Tomb here. Get down Bloodghast. We need to start racing here against this curse that they put us under. But I think I want to start by getting down the Blood Artist. 2 open mana just seems like they have removal. And we'll finally play Grist.
Embrace death. Dominate the cycle.
And so the dream on 5 mana would be Journey of Eternity and Diabolic Intent on the same turn. But they're going off. And so I definitely want to use all 4 mana here, so it's going to be Takenuma. And they're at 8. We really want to get them dead here. So we'll sack the Bloodghast. And we're just going to grab a 2-mana removal spell here. If I can find a 2-mana removal spell, like Bitter Triumph? There it is. We're just going to pay 3 life. And our whole thing here is just getting them down to 0. Oh, Armor of Shadows, nice. Yeah, I mean, we got nothing then. We are going to definitely try to trade off this Grist for their Crick. Got his Ghost Form. And Arcane Signet. So if it's an interesting attack for them here, because if they swing with the Obliterator, I'm just going to get in, I'm just going to block here with Grist. And I am going to have to sacrifice 1 permanent here. We'll move into Command Zone. Yeah, not looking great here, if I'm being honest. Play land. Return Bloodghast. Primetime not going to help us. And we'll put Journey to Eternity on this supplier here. And we're just going to take 5 from the Obliterator. We're going to chump this Crick. And see what happens. So we're here at 1 life, which isn't a great feeling, obviously. What can we do? Card from your graveyard to the battlefield. No, I don't think I have anything. GG Crick. I think that was a pretty sweet deck, I gotta say. Glad the first loss is to that one. Alright, last game here. Grist against Goshentai of Life's Origin. And we have some early removal for any Enchantress they have. We have some lands. Yeah, I think we can keep this. And we'll start here just on Overgrown Tomb.
Still hungry.
Tireless Provisioner. We're going to want to wait on that one if possible. But we're just going to get in here for 1 now. Sterling Grove for our opponents. That's hella annoying, for sure. But we do want to get this Tireless Provisioner down this turn, for sure. Again, as I keep saying for sure too many times. We'll get it down. And see if we have enough. So, incredibly annoying that that Sithis has Shroud off of Sterling Grove, which is a card from the 90s, and this doesn't give protection from Shroud. Just really annoying here. I don't have double green. Yeah, I'm not going to win this one. All right, cutting this game. All right, we are back with Grist, and I'm trying my best to really get a good game, but I feel like the queue has just been horse shit, if I'm being honest. But against a red-black deck and them grabbing a tap land makes me want to just lead on this halfling. Which, if they kill, in a few turns we're going to be able to maybe finally flip this Grist. One, we can hope and we can pray. But they have a Chaos Baler in hand. Or in their graveyard. Which we don't have Reanimate. We'll get this Grist down. Play a Swamp. And I think kind of the dream here is if they want to kill this halfling and we get to flip Grist. Zerzoth, Chaos Rider. Sure. Whenever opponent draws their first card each turn, if it's not their turn. Okay. So here we're just going to add a colorless. Malakir Rebirth. And we're going to finally get to freaking flip this Grist. We did it in the video. Oh my god. Thank you, Lord. Hit that +1. And next turn we're going to be able to unearth this Emperor of Bones. And we have a game here, ladies and gentlemen. Cardor Doomscourge. Until your next turn, creatures attack. Okay, so I have to attack this turn. So we'll start by just hitting the +1. And we'll unearth this Emperor of Bones. And probably end of turn go for Takenuma, I would say. But for now, we'll take the Chaos Baler. I completely misplayed with that Delighted Halfling, but we'll see if it comes to cost me. And now each of these insects does have Death Touch. Opponent attacking in at Grist will block with a Death Touch insect. An opponent plays Bontu's Monument, which is going to make black creatures a little cheaper, and then they get to drain me whenever they cast a creature. Tiefling Outcast. So this turn, I just want to get rid of their monument.
Futile implements.
Oh, and I definitely want to use this Emperor of Bones now. And maybe make those treasure tokens. Choose 2. I definitely want to give myself 2 tokens. And then I want to seek 4 non-lands. Target a player to deal 2 damage to. That player creates 2 treasure tokens. To target player and create 2 treasure tokens. So can I not choose myself? Oh. So I'm going to discard all the cards in my hand. And they're going to take 2 here. Sacrificed at the beginning of your end step. So if I Xander's Wake, I will get... Oh, I guess I thought I was going to get this ability and I don't. So Rakdos the Showstopper here. Take this Morbid Opportunist. And Yawgmoth's Vile Offering is going to be great here. So we're going to bring back this Get Raw Gravenous Ride and get rid of Rakdos. We actually get to saddle him up. Hell yeah.
Grow forth from the rot.
Swing in for 6, and we will sacrifice. And put this Forsaken Crossroads on the battlefield. Probably naming green. We'll untap. I'll take a Blade Juggler this time. And we definitely should have put this on black to keep up Not Dead After All. And that's one that really could come back to bite us, but I guess it's not. GG. After I took a few games to see if I could actually flip this Grist, but I'll be back to wrap it up. This isn't one of my favorite decks, if I'm being honest. Well, I hope you enjoyed those games. Grist went 4-1, so definitely not the worst not the worst record, I would say, but in terms of a black green commander who you can sacrifice with, who wants you to reanimate stuff, I don't think Grist the Plague Swarm as a payoff ended up being really worth it. It was cool that last game I did win and I did get to flip him, but to be honest, I just think the strength of my deck on its own kind of got us there. But anyway, hit that like button, subscribe to Brawl Crawl, subscribe to Rabble Master. I'm Alan, and I'll see you next time.